I have a secret. It's a secret that I'm very anxious to share, but I think it's a very important secret to get to know who I am.
You gotta be kidding me.
But before I tell you that, there's a little bit of pre-reading. There's a moment in Thomas Middleditch and Ben Schwartz's 3-part improv comedy show entitled Middleditch and Schwartz that has been replaying in my head over and over and over. Near the end of one of the episodes, Tom and Ben get a little bit confused.
Kyle got that interview, and now he's not.
And he doesn't.
He was on his way. He was the one that first sat down
So
to JFK.
Kyle wanted Sassen's body.
Yes.
Because Sassen. Fuck. What?
You think in this moment, the entire show breaks down. In front of an audience of tens of thousands of people, these two guys spent the last 40 minutes building intricate plot lines and characters. At this point, if even the performers can't even keep track, how would the audience be able to? The climax of this episode is in shambles, but here's the kicker. No one cares. No matter how many times I replay it and replay it, I keep asking myself, why is the audience eating this up? Why am I eating it up? Why does this work? But also, why am I talking about theater?
You gotta be kidding me. I'm a theater kid. I'm pausing because I can almost hear how excited you are through the screen. Now you may be asking why I'm talking about being a theater kid, and also why I'm a theater kid. We need to go back 6 years ago.
Tomorrow, the world is going to blow up. Tomorrow, neighborhoods will be swept clean, street names will become obsolete, everything you once knew gone in a second. People will turn into animals, every man for himself. Tomorrow, the world is going to blow up. Tomorrow is unpredictable. Tomorrow's social systems collapse, and years into the future, this collapse will be shorthanded by what's left of the human race into one simple phrase.
Middle school.
I was saving.
Oh my!
Very early on, I became acutely aware that middle school was not for the faint-of-hearted. Without any warning, my want to stand out that I developed in primary school, resulting in formative practices of attention such as drawings and show and tell, had to be thrown completely out the window in service of something called group identity. This innate fear that maybe standing out isn't actually a good thing. Maybe singing Disney Channel songs in language class isn't actually as cool as you think it is. But also, someone please look at me, or else I'm going to actually start believing that I don't exist. So, really, really healthy thoughts going on in middle school. Minus the Disney Channel songs, that's wildly unhealthy. Work this out. That's from High School Musical too. Guys, the slander on Zac Efron's jaw. What's going on, guys? We're going into like a fatal car crash, which like required like actual facial reconstruction, and now everyone online is like, Zachy, what is this? You were pretty, just the way you were. I really think it's not a little bit. What's going on? I showed up in the next video with like a broken arm, and someone in the comments was like, guys, I think he's wearing a cast, guys. I don't know. I miss his old arm. Jail, like right now. I miss my old arm. Me too. I'm the one who has the broken one.
So to treat this newfound fear of mine, I had to find a smaller community to feel safe in. And that's where I became a theater kid. Admittedly, this new environment was still intimidating for a 7th grader. I mean, look around. This is high school we're talking about. Inside jokes between seniors that I don't get, attentiveness to participate, the entire idea of being in front of an audience of hundreds, not knowing what they think.
Hey man, do you know like the ice caps are like literally melting?
My school did a production of Footloose, the first year I joined. There's a scene where, like, all the dudes are, like, in front of a mirror and they're getting ready for like, prom. Everyone had got in front into a line, and I just got a little bit late. There was no space in the line for me to fit in. And I'm at the back trying to, like, peer through. A senior, who I had rarely talked to at all, goes out of the line and makes space for me. I remember going home that night because that was our final show and like being like, it's okay to take up space, which sounds very egotistical, but I think going from I want to be perceived as invisible to I'm okay if someone notices that I'm there, I think that's better than enough. That little rat in my brain that's so self-conscious of being perceived sort of just magically stopped speaking for a bit.
Yeah.
So, smash cut about 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 shows later to December of 2023. I decide to do something that I never would have thought in a million years that I'd be doing. And that's join a theater group outside of school. And so again, I bit the bullet and put myself out there. Then, a fear I hadn't felt in 6 years started up again. Are you telling me I'm meeting an entire new group of people that I'm unfamiliar with? No preconceived knowledge of people I go to school with and see every day? Why am I even thinking of this? What happened to those 6 years of growth and change? I'm irrational. I've done this before.
It's happening again.
At the time of recording this, I turned 18 in 2 days. And I like to think that I'm a pretty capable person. Like, I'm not dragging behind or anything. But there are just times where, anyway, it doesn't matter. Let me recap the stakes of this application.
Which seat is it?
So to be accepted in this application, I would have to research, choose, and perform one full-length monologue in front of a panel of strangers that I've never met before in my life. And like, sure, I've done monologues in like English class, and like I've been in Shakespeare plays, but even those took countless months of preparation. For this audition, I had 1 week to prepare. A sane person would probably realize maybe I'm not too cut out for this. A sane person? Anyway, let me talk about my monologue. One of William Shakespeare's famous monologues takes place in Act 3, Scene 2 of Julius Caesar.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears.
Fresh off the rebellious energy of conspirators led by Brutus after killing Caesar, Mark Antony, Caesar's friend, is asked to speak at his funeral. The crowd is reluctant to listen to Mark because he's biased. Against all odds, against all Mark's fears of judgment, he speaks for himself. In 35 lines, he subtly but effectively convinces the crowd that they're all fake followers, sheep to a herd, blindly following the orders of treasonous animals, beasts. The crowd sees him, sees what he stands for.
See that? Our production budget can now afford cardboard. So days passed leading up to my audition, and let me tell you, I am absolutely terrified. I am a nervous wreck. I am rehearsing and over-rehearsing. There is only a finite amount of times that you can rehearse something in the shower before you look like if a raisin went to theater camp. But then the actual day arrived and something felt very different. When I got in the room and actually started performing my monologue, everything started to chill out a bit. For a brief moment, I stopped worrying about if I was fidgeting my hands too much, and I actually started to feel like I'm good at what I do, which is weird. I know. I realized that, like, yes, it is scary to perform something in front of a group of strangers you don't know for the first time, but, like, this is a panel of people who want you to succeed. These spaces, not just in theater, are filled with one of the most incredibly passionate and, like, beautiful communities that you can ever think of. Every art space has this sort of backbone of community. When I was in that room doing my audition, I sort of remembered that again. I remembered that feeling of being in 8th grade and given space to while doing production of Footloose. When my girlfriend and I exited that audition, it was sort of like, whatever happens, today was very good. It sort of didn't matter if I made it or not. We did something that we had never even done before, and that's something of merit. And then the craziest thing happened.
The next step was the interview. I've never had to go through a job interview before. The only thing remotely close is once I applied to a cinema via video application, and I started my video by entering frame and going, "Hey, didn't see you there." No wonder you're unemployed. My first workshop is tomorrow.
It's a Shakespeare reference. It's a Shakespeare monologue.
It's the day of the first workshop. In 30 seconds, the world is going to blow up. People you know will become nameless. Everything you once knew gone in a second. People will turn into animals. Every man for himself. Can you shut it? Why is it still like this? It's like my brain keeps flip-flopping from a socially confident person to a socially inept person, and it can't choose between either one. And I'm frustrated because, like,
Hi,
as a
this rant
creative,
goes on
I
for
feel like
an hour, so I'm going to cut it for time.
People are, and it's like
There is a
graduated
line, right? There's a line crossed. You know, like I should just doing it again. Just not messing up with the words. I just wish I was not really fine. Why does Duke stutter so much, guys?
Guys, like my Stanley Cup?
Hi, I'm Jamie, creator of JPEG, the YouTube channel, www.youtube.com. Here I take on many jobs. All of them. I take on all the jobs. Director, writer, actor, human resources, and personal worst nightmare. And when I'm finally able to catch a break, I like to think of one of the many things in this burning hot existential dread of this universe that keeps me going. 3 words: internet personality quizzes. Why do I need to spend time understanding the intense complexities that is the human condition and unravel the inner truths of my psyche when I can tell a computer which season of The Office I like the most so it can do the hard work for me? Isn't that so fun? I personally love that every time I do an internet personality quiz, I always get the type that is introverted. Every single damn time. You like cheese on that pizza? Introvert. You like cats better than dogs? Introvert. Own a Radiohead CD? Well, that's a given. I love that according to 80 years of IT development and computer research, I intrinsically have, continue to be, and always will be deathly afraid of people. I love it so much. I love it so much. I love it so much. Here's a story.
The NYU Skirball Center for Performing Arts seats 850 people. Assuming ticket prices are on average around $100, even if only half the people buy tickets, $43,000 are on the line for Middleditch and Schwartz to perform a good improv comedy show. $43,000 are on the line to keep the audience at the edge of their seat. $43,000 are especially on the line when on the climax of the final act, you start slipping up.
Fuck, what?
When you lose track not only with your live audience, but with the millions of families at home who are watching this tape performance forever cemented onto video.
How do we lose this?
One might believe that maybe you are just not cut out for this. You will forever just be a person who's unable to do something like this. But if you're Thomas Middleditch and Ben Schwartz, you keep going, because no matter what, the show must go on. These spaces, not just in theater, are filled with one of the most incredibly passionate and, like, beautiful communities that you can ever think of. So I spent so much time sort of just worrying about how I look like to other people. People, more often than not, especially in, like, theater communities, are oftentimes very supportive. We can get in our own heads a little too much. Every art space has this sort of backbone of community. And I sort of remembered that again.